So, Juicy, I want to ask you a little bit about your opinions and your approach to knighthood. So, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Amtgard Leadership University videos online that
Sadly,
Goldcrest
I've not.
did. I I love them. Very
I do
good.
want to watch them. I'll think of like, man, I should really look those up, and they'll help me when then I see something shiny. And unfortunately,
Yeah,
I have the attention span of a ferret on coke, so I'm easily distracted by everything, and so I never get around to actually watching them.
they're gold, and
Yeah,
most of them are
I,
a bit old now, but they're very good. But one of the questions that they always ask that I kind of eye rolled at before I was a knight, and now as a knight, I'm like, okay, I get it a little bit more. What does knighthood mean to you, Juicy?
um, you're a role model. You everything you do, everything you say is going to be criticized and critiqued. So, but you're the face of Amcard. That
Mm,
is your job. And you are in office 24/7. Everything you say and do is going to be taken with as if it was the gospel, and you need to make sure that the words coming out of your mouth are what need to be said. And then saying that no one's perfect. We're going to make our mistakes, but the problem is as a knight, when you make those mistakes, it's much worse
mm-hmm.
than when that squire does it or that man at arms. So yeah, knighthood to me is being a role model and being the face of Amcard.
Yeah, I like that. Real quick, I'm going to pull this up. Thank you, Alex, for this. For those who have not
Oh
seen
yeah,
this yet, ALU is the Amtgard Leadership University. There's the YouTube channel put on by Sir Goldcrest. Amazing, amazing content. If you're looking for something, they do panels, 4 to 5 people. They're about an hour long on almost any topic you can think of. Check them out. They're really good.
bear with me. I am copying pasting that myself,
There
so
you go.
maybe I will not be an idiot and look it up for myself. So all right,
Good. I like what you were saying about the role model.
yeah,
Someone somewhere, I don't know who said it. I heard it before I became a knight, and now it hits me more. You will be someone's first experience with a
yeah,
knight,
yep,
and even if that's at at park, I don't think that bothers me too much. Like I can handle that, but at events, that's the thing. Like you could be this
uh-huh.
new player's first introduction to a knight, and if you go and you ask anyone who's been playing for a while, they will tell you a story of a bad experience they had with a knight.
Hmm.
And as if that's their first experience with a knight, it's even worse.
Oh yeah,
And so there's some weight behind that. Like I don't want to be the horror story, the knight of the horror stories that I've heard. Right.
yeah.
So what does it take? Like what does that entail for you? You talked about the white conscience
Yeah.
earlier, the white belt. Like
Hmm.
what does that actually mean? When you're showing up at an event and Sir Juicy puts that white belt on, what what happens? Like what do you mean when you say the white conscience?
I know, and exactly, and I know that I'm most likely going to be someone's first experience, or something they're going to take my word as what I say is going to be more weight than they're going to take of anybody
Mm,
else's. So I have to be careful. Once I when I got my garb on, I put my belt on, I put on my happy face.
yep.
I'm smiling, I'm enjoying life. I take every question, as seriously as I can take it. I give that one-on-one FaceTime with that person. I make sure that, when they go home, they're like, I met this great knight. He did this for me. He answered all my questions. Man, I really want to do that. And that makes them, it gets them down the right path to do greater and better things for everybody.
Mm,
Whereas if they show up and I'm just, they ask me my question, I'm like, I don't know, I don't care. Go ask someone else. They're gonna go home like, well, I didn't like Kingdom. They weren't nice to me. And they may not come back. They may leave. They may leave. I have seen. It's only once. I have seen a player come back from a Kingdom level event and quit
mm,
because when they met the king was an asshole to them. And not on, and I don't remember. I don't know the details or anything, of
mm,
course. Uh, but the king was an asshole, and they came back to our park one week. they showed up. They said, "Hey, you guys are great, but your leadership sucks, and I don't want to play your game anymore."
Mm.
And from that, and that hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, there's nothing I can do to fix this. So I will never be that person. So, and I never will be. I will not. I will. Once that belt comes on, I'm in work mode. I am happy. I'm smiling. I am doing everything I can to make everybody's job more, more enjoyable. And sometimes it's rough and it wears down on you, but I took that on when I let them knight me. I knew what I was getting into. And me in particular, I had a very, very close relationship with my knight. We were great friends. So, like, I was squired my first year in the game. My first week, I was man at arms to Sir Pollux, who was then at the time just Pollux. And then a year in, Crosser went to Pollux and me, and he said, I want to squire the Juice. I think I see great things in his future, and I want to help that. And Pollux said, "You're right. I can't do for him what you can, and so take care of this." So I was a squire for 8 years, I think. 6 years. I was a squire for 6 years. But because we had such a close relationship, he was able to instill that in me, that once you're knighted, it's a full-time job. You don't get to blow up, because Crosser had a temper. He blew up a couple times at me, actually. And so, and I saw how that wore him down. Every time he blew up, he was just horrified with himself. He was always like, well, this is, damn. So, I refuse to be that for someone. I will always be the best experience. In fact, actually, hold on one second. Here in a minute, I'm going to feed my cats real fast, so bear with me. So yeah, we, as a knight, it's you have to be that face, and it always has to be on. So that's why I call it my white conscience, because when I start to feel frustrated and I know I'm about to lose my temper, I just grab it and I turn and walk away, and I go to my car. I sit down. I just take a deep breath, and then I'm good. It keeps me in line.
Well, and one of the things I try and push with my belt line and in anybody I have influence over, there is a huge difference between masterhood and knighthood.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the masterhood is all about you. It's I am good enough to achieve the top tier. And not everybody should be taking on the responsibility of what it means to be a knight. And in I know some people, and we'll get to this here in a second, in how you kind of work with your belt line. I don't push my beltlings to be knights. I want them to be masters.
Yeah,
I want them to be the best at their craft. If that's what they want, right? To be the best at their craft. And if they don't want the responsibility that comes with putting other people's fun before their own, which is how I what does knighthood mean to me? Yeah. It's that your fun, especially your fun as a new player, is more important right now than my fun as a knight.
Yep.
And if you're not willing to or can't handle that, that is completely okay. There is no shame in that.
Right.
I mean, you're a master. That's sick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
You are one of the best in your craft in our kingdom, and if not the entire game.
Yeah.
Rest on those laurels. Don't feel like you need the white belt to complete your, victory lap type of thing.